We have an NHL trade to discuss between the St. Louis Blues and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who have swapped defensemen. We'll get into all the details coming up next. Welcome back to Top Shelf Hockey. Now, we have some breaking news from the NHL. We have another trade to discuss. A fairly minor deal, but could prove to be important here longer term. The Leafs and the Blues have swapped defensemen, with the Leafs sending defenseman Andreas Borgman to the St. Louis Blues in exchange for defenseman Jordan Schmaltz. From a salary cap perspective, this deal is pretty even. They both have the same contract, $700K. The main difference in this trade is that Andreas Borgman is waivers exempt, so if the St. Louis Blues decide they want to put him down in the minor leagues, they will not need waivers to do so. Whereas Jordan Schmaltz is no longer waivers exempt, so if he doesn't make the Leafs roster at a training camp, he will have to go on waivers in order to clear to go down to the minor leagues. So I guess we'll see here, but Jordan Schmaltz is a right shot defenseman, an area that the Leafs have been looking to bolster here recently, which they've already kind of made some other moves, acquiring Tyson Barrie as well as Cody Ceci. Now they add Schmaltz into the mix, so certainly another option on the blue line, and certainly increases to their depth. I mean, he does have some potential. He was drafted quite a long time ago, but went through the college hockey route, played 3 years at University of North Dakota, and then he's kind of been in and out of the Blues lineup, up and down between the NHL and the AHL over the past few years. He's played a grand total of 42 games and put up 5 assists. And obviously, after the St. Louis Blues went on to win the Stanley Cup this year, they certainly had a lot of guys that kind of emerged in their blue line that could be holding down positions there for quite some time. So it looks as though Schmaltz may not really have had much of an opportunity should he stay with the Blues. So from the Toronto perspective, even though they've acquired other right shot defensemen that would rank higher than him in the depth chart, pretty much their whole blue line outside of Morgan Riley is an unrestricted free agent going into next year. So should he stick with the Maple Leafs longer term, there very well could be more opportunity down the road, even if it's not this coming season, should they continue to have him as part of their organization, which very well could likely be part of the plan. And obviously maybe they didn't see Borgman fitting in longer term here as well. And on the blue side of things, where he is still waivers exempt, they can play him in the minor leagues and not risk losing him, whereas Schmaltz would have been lost to waivers likely had he not made a Blues team out of training camp, which is quite a good possibility. Now, the Leafs originally signed Andreas Borgman as an undrafted free agent back in 2017, been playing in Sweden. He's been in 48 games so far, put up 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points. Didn't look too bad. He's certainly known for his physical side of the play as well. So he could certainly prove to be an NHL defenseman. I would not be surprising at all to see him finally get a spot somewhere here in the short term and get a regular spot in the lineup. He did look good during those 48 games. I thought he did a decent job, but ultimately the Leafs ended up keeping him in the minors, and they felt that there's other guys kind of ranking ahead of him within their prospect defense pool. Guys like Travis Dermott kind of jumped ahead of him here. And then they end up drafting Timothy Liljegren, Rasmus Sandin, and they obviously felt he was expendable and that Schmaltz might be a better fit for them longer term, which probably makes a lot of sense here. So of course, as always, let me know what your thoughts are on this trade down in the comment section, and we can continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you don't miss any future content. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it as well. I'd appreciate it if you did. And thank you very much for watching. I will catch you next time.